I started hearing about Catapult 3 years ago from John Quinn when I visited the Greater Western Sydney Giants. I actually visited them up in Sydney, and I got to see the athlete tracking running live with the players. We started using athlete tracking about 2.5 years ago when I came back from Australia. I talked with the head football coach, and we started using the product in training camp that season. So it's almost 2.5–3 years now. My initial thoughts, I wanted to know what our players were actually doing and not just conceptualizing what I thought they were doing. And so we really had a need for knowing what the requirements of the game were so we could actually develop the players to meet those requirements, and then we could give objective data back to the coaches on what the players are doing instead of just subjectively looking at what our players are doing. We wanted to objectively analyze the game. I told them that we were using advanced technology to track and monitor our athletes, that we could actually tell what the guys were doing while they were doing it. The biggest advantage we get from using the athlete tracking is that we can look at the cost of training. So every time we step on the field and we train, there's a physiological cost to what we're doing. And when you know that cost, you can make more intelligent decisions on how you're going to train and recover your athletes. I'm looking forward to developing the athletes year after year. So looking at data when a guy comes in as a freshman, and then looking at what happens when he's a senior, and seeing how our training protocols based off of the data that we have improves their sporting results. So we can actually point to hard numbers and say, yes, we're actually developing athletes, and that development is translating to on-the-field performance. All these field-based tests that most people are using, there's very little correlation to actual game performance. So you can have people that have great amounts of biological output, but a lot of times that doesn't translate into skill. And so there's two parts to being a great athlete. There's the tactical part, and there's the physical capabilities. And sometimes you can't measure their awareness, their decision-making abilities, how fast they're moving. But we can actually look at movement efficiencies, looking at what separates two similar athletes that have the same biological output. The support from Catapult is what I would call fanatical support. They're the reason I chose this company. Michael Regan has been awesome. He's been with me since day one. They're always available via email or a Skype conversation. They've gone out of their way to work with me, whether it's waking up at 6 or 5 o'clock in the morning their time to do a Skype conversation around the world. I don't really feel as if they're halfway around the world. I feel like they're always available. Catapult provides a product that you just can't get anywhere else. I've looked at every single product out there, and I feel more comfortable with the reliability and the validity of what they're offering. This customer support, the product itself is far superior than anything on the market. We use the system as a total unit because there can't be a differentiation between the tactical and the physical. And so this has actually bridged the gap for us. So as an organization, we're all looking at the same information and making decisions together. Now, our strength and conditioning coaches, they'll use it for development, but that's all based off of game data. And so what it does is at the end of the day, it brings everybody on the same page working together. Absolutely. There's a whole lot of information I never would have had. I won't go into the specifics of it, but without Catapult, we wouldn't have been able to make crucial decisions that helped our players be more healthy and play better. We look at high intensity accelerated distance, we look at total distance, we look at heart rates, we look at maximal speeds obtained during practice. We've come up with our own metrics, which is the cool thing about the Catapult data is that you can take it as far as you want to take it. And so as you progress with the data, you actually come up with your own metrics that you think are valuable for your team, for your organization. Player behavior has changed. One, they know that we care about them because we're actually tracking and monitoring them. They also know that there is no hiding, and if they have a bad practice, they're going to acknowledge it themselves. And also they get excited about seeing their performance. And that's something that's really good, is they want to know how well they're performing and where they can improve. Catapults was kind of the bridge to get me to where I wanted to be. It gave me the opportunity to take abstract concepts and make them real life with numbers. And it's given me the opportunity to be a high performance manager, which was a lifelong goal.